I am going to explain the downsizing movie. As soon as the movie starts, we are told that the scientist has made a technique that can make any person smaller in size. This technique is called downsizing. It can be used to make any person 5 inches. The purpose of downsizing was to reduce resources because the population was increasing very fast. Now it is obvious that this is a dangerous thing. That's why scientists made this technique, which will make humans smaller and resources will not be exhausted. Because a small person cannot use anything as much as a big person does. But whoever uses the downsizing technique, they have to keep some things in mind. Once the downsizing technique is applied on a person, it cannot be increased again. That is, the person will remain small permanently. And all the children that will be born, that is, the coming generation, will also be small. This technique becomes very viral all over the world. Some people were saying it was good, and some people were saying it was bad. And those who like this technique, they also apply it on themselves. Then after being small in size, that person becomes happy in his life. After this, we are shown a couple in which the husband's name is Paul. Their financial condition was very bad, and when they both hear about this technique, they also like it a lot. And then with time, their problems increase even more. Many times Paul thinks that he will adopt the downsizing technique, but he didn't have the courage to do so. Then one day Paul goes to a party. Here he sees his friend and his wife, who were enjoying their life by using this technique. And they come to this party in a small glass box. Paul talks a lot to his friend, where his friend tells everyone that I am very happy by applying downsizing in my life. When I was older, I had a lot of problems in my life, but now I am as happy in my life. Where earlier our property was very less, and now our property has increased a lot. That is, I have now become a rich man. Hearing this, Paul and his wife get very impressed, and they feel very good, and they both decide that they will also apply this technique. Paul and his wife go to the downsizing conference so that they can know more about it. They are told that when they grow up, they will have a lot of property. For example, when they grow up, they have nothing more than a biscuit. But when they grow up, one biscuit will be enough to fill their stomachs. With this, they can run the whole packet of biscuits for many days. That is, their problem of eating and drinking has been solved here. Now, a lady looks at Paul's property and says that when you grow up, your property will go up to 200 million. Hearing this, Paul becomes very happy. But the problem was that he couldn't grow up again after becoming small. But now that his relatives will grow up, so his relationship with his relatives will end forever. And if there is any artificial thing in his body, it will be removed. Like if there is an artificial tooth, it will also be removed. Because only the human body will be small in this, nothing else will be small with it. But if he doesn't do this, he can die. Now there is a metal attached to the pole's tooth. That's why the pole gets it removed. And scientists remove all the hair from his body. Then they both, husband and wife, get ready and say goodbye to each other. And say that now we will meet in a smaller size than each other. First, downsizing is applied to the pole. Now it is not applied to his wife. The pole is put in a chamber, where a doctor presses a button. And that's when the downsizing process begins. Along with the pole, other people were also included there, and they all get smaller. Paul, who is small, lies on the bed. Here his nurse brings a biscuit for him, but Paul does not eat the biscuit and calls his wife. Paul's wife tells him that I have canceled this plan. That is, I am not applying the downsizing technique on myself. Actually, when Paul's wife's hair was being cut, he realized what I was going to do with myself. Am I doing the right thing? Did I just have to do this in my life? Then he realizes that he will never be able to meet his relatives. That's why he canceled this plan. But Paul gets very angry when he hears this, because he had become small and he could not grow up again. And because of this, there is a separation between the two because they can no longer live together. After this, Paul goes somewhere else to spend his life, and this place was specially made for downsizing people. Paul lived alone in a house there. He had no friends with him. Then a lot of time had passed, and Paul had also divorced his wife, so that he can start a new life. Then the next day he watches the news, in which he sees that a box had been sent from America, in which about 15 people were coming here using downsizing technique. But all of them died except for one girl. Then Paul comes to his house after a party and sleeps. The next day he sees the same girl whom he saw in the news. That girl cleans that house and cooks food for Paul. Actually, that girl does not have a house, and Paul was also living alone. That's why he was sent here. Then these two get along very well with each other and like each other a lot. Then we are shown a broken area there. And this was also the area of small people. These were the small people who used the downsizing technique, but did it in a wrong way, in an illegal way. And that's why they are living here. That is, they did not benefit from adopting the downsizing technique. Just as their life was the same when they grew up, their life was the same when they were small. That is, they did not make much difference. Then Paul decides to go there, where this technique started from. And the scientist who first applied it on himself, he also lived there. Because Paul wanted to know if he could ever grow up again. The scientist says, I worked very hard to make this technique to save this world. But the truth is that you can't grow up now. In fact, you will always be small like this. And now Paul also understands that he can never grow up again. But he was happy because he had found a good partner in the form of that girl. And with her, he can happily spend his life. The scientist tells that I have designed this place in such a way that no danger can come here, and it will never end. And if you want, you can stay with us. On which Paul says that, no, as soon as the land is over, I also want to end with him. And I want to spend all my life happily with him. And that's why he comes back to his place and starts living a very good life with that girl. With a new start, and with this, the movie ends here. If you like this, give it a like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our future videos. Thank you for watching. See you in next video.